Hey guys, Serena Williams here, and today I just pretty much want to talk about my meet this weekend. So, yeah, it was my first outdoor meet of the season, and I was super juiced, because it was this weekend. I was super juiced to running it, really excited, got there early. And I was like, both my coaches were there, and I was like, all right, this is the meet where I just run some ridiculously fast time, and all the scouts are like, who is Serena Williams? Not the tennis player, the girl that runs track. So super juice. So I get on my blocks for the first race. Somehow I ran 3 races this weekend, 2 hurdle races and 100 race. That was not the original plan, but you just gotta roll with the punches whenever you're at track meets. So, back to my story. I get on my blocks, I'm really excited, I'm like, alright, I got one of my teammates on my right side, and then another one on my left, and then some other girls that I've ran with before are also in this meet as well. And so we're all ready. Everybody's excited for this race because it's like the first outdoor race of the season for me and my teammates and then some of the other girls that are running. So we take off and I feel amazing through the first hurdle and then hurdles 5 and after that, because I don't know what I was thinking about the first 4 hurdles, and I never really do know what I'm doing the first 4 hurdles. But the race itself felt fast. And whenever you feel fast, you're going to run a really fast time. Because it just feels like it. And when you did good, and when you did bad, and you know what you do. And so the race felt amazing. And I was super juiced, and I was so excited to see what my time was after the race. So I run my race, and I'm congratulating everybody and shaking hands, and everybody's super excited because they all know they did really well. And so we all walk around the tent to see what our times are, because they have the little thing that tells you your name and your time and all that other stuff. And so we get there, and everybody, all of the coaches are shaking their head in disappointment, and we're kind of just like, what? We all felt really good. And so everyone walks around to the board to see what their time is, and they're like, the timing system didn't start. And we're all kind of just like, what? The what system? The time. You mean the system that goes off when you shoot the gun, and it's tracked together somehow through electricity, and that timing system that tells us how fast or slow we are in the race? That? Yes. Alright, so where do we go from here? Do we run again? Do we run it now? Do we run it later? Are we gonna have rest time? What's really gonna go on? So I have no idea what I ran my first race of the season. The only thing that I do know is that it was fast and it felt amazing. One of the coaches clocked their hurdler hand time 13.5, and the conversion is 0.24, so that's 13.7 on automated time. And I was at least, I'd say 5 meters. We'll say 5 to 10 meters ahead of her. So automated time, I probably ran somewhere around 13.4, 13.5, which matches my PR from college in 2010, and then last year I think I ran 13.5 my last race. So it means hypothetically I am picking up where I left off, which is amazingly good for me, and it lets me know that all the training that I've been doing is paying off. And it's cool when you know that the training that you're doing is paying off. It sucks when you're doing all this training and then you perform bad, and it's well, then it's not it's not the training. Well, it is kind of the training, but it's like, well, what are you doing because you should be on this mark and all that other stuff. Anyways, so none of us know our times for the first time out, but everyone was mad because everyone knew they ran fast and that they PR'd in that race. And so then we're like, all right, cool. Well, we get to run it again, right? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, how much rest time do we have? Like, are you guys going to run the guys and then the girls again? Or are we just going to run it at the end of the meet? Or, like, how is this going to work? And they're like, oh, you guys have, like, 5-10 minutes rest time. And I'm thinking, like, 5-10 minutes. And so I ask, and I'm like, well, how much rest time do we have? And he was like, 5 to 10. He was like, how much do you need? And I was like, like 20-30 minutes, for full recovery. And he's like, yeah, it's not gonna work. So we pretty much got about like 5 minutes. Well, okay, I'll say 8 minutes rest time because I really don't know how long I was laying on the ground trying to recover as quickly as possible. So yeah, we got some amount of time of rest, but it was not enough. It wasn't. So we get in the race again, and of course everybody's like tired and mad and just not feeling this second race. And the second race, like down the line, it was the worst race for everybody. I would say that's probably the worst race I've ever ran. It was sloppy. I think me and the girl next hit each other. And then I didn't start running until like the 7th hurdle, which is horrible. And it was just, everyone was bad. And one girl fell over the first hurdle, and I don't know what she did after that, but I heard her fall, and it was just all bad. It was all bad. But, I mean, it was cool because, at least we all got 2 races in, and we were only expecting to get 1, but it just kind of sucks the situation, So, I mean, whatever. Two for 1, I guess, is the way to look at it. But I still would like to know, like, what I ran for that first race. It'd be great to know that. After running the second race and running it so sloppily, it was cool though because I know what I did through the race and how I can change it for the next time that situation happens. But I just hope a situation like that doesn't happen again and that the timing system... Oh, so if you're wondering, like, oh, why did they shoot a second gun? They did shoot a second gun, but I didn't hear the second gun until, like, the 7th hurdle, and it's kind of like, well, I've already ran this far, so why would I stop? And then on top of that, I was confused as to whether or not that was a hurdle telling us to stop, a gun telling us to stop, or if that was like, because there was a baseball game going on, if that was like some noise from the baseball field. So I think down the line, everybody was confused because everyone kept running. And then some people said they didn't even hear the guns. So it's like, was I hearing a phantom gun? Did they really shoot the gun? Were they lying to us? But yeah, so there might have been a second gun, but we cannot confirm this second gun, allegedly. And so, yeah, we all just kept running. What was I going to say? Oh, second race, I ran the 100. I was solid for like 40 meters, and then after that, it was just like race maintenance after that. But all in all, I'd say I had a glorified practice this weekend, mainly due to the fact that I had to run 2 hurdle races in a matter of 10 minutes. And yeah, that's mainly it. So, I mean, things happen. It wasn't my time to shine. I'm not supposed to know how fast I am this early in the season. Hopefully that doesn't happen this weekend. Yeah. So, I mean, do you guys have stories like this? Has a situation ever like this happened to you guys? What did you guys do? Were your coaches angry? I mean, I want to know because it's just curious to know how many times this has actually happened in a track meet. Outside of that, yeah, this weekend it was good, I learned a lot. Things I take away from this is a glorified practice. There's no use crying over spilt milk. Whatever happens, you just have to go with the flow. So if you ever are in the same situation as me, don't get mad, just learn from it, and then just think of it as a second opportunity to fix what you did wrong the first time. In my case, I didn't fix anything I did the first time. I actually did worse things the second time, but it's cool because now I know that I need to focus on my second race more if this situation ever happens again. And what I mean by that is running at whatever energy level I have left and really focusing in on my technique and making sure that I'm being crisp over the hurdles and running in between and actively knowing what I'm doing over the hurdles. So that's what I learned from this weekend and this meet and this experience. And I would advise that you guys try to take something away from every meet that you run, whether it be something little like over the 7th hurdle, I just threw my lead arm out there, or if you're a 400 runner, I took a funky step and my left foot kicked out like I was a mule, or I don't know. Just take something away from the meet. So yeah, good learning experience. Learn from me. If you hear a gun and you're not sure, just keep running unless you hear like everybody else behind you has stopped. And then I also wonder, like, if one person stops and then everybody stops in the race, but there's nothing wrong with the timing system, like, do they start that whole race over again, or is it just your loss? That's a good question. I'm gonna ask somebody that next time I go to a meet. Hopefully I remember. Anyways, if you guys have questions or like any other scenarios that I can share with you as far as like my track life and my experiences with hurdling and track and pursuing this professional career that I'm doing, feel free to ask, leave comments, subscribe, like, share. Share your experiences. Like, I really want to know what you guys are doing as far as track and field, and then like how your meets are and stuff. It's always cool listening to someone else's perspective as far as like meets and training and just their thought process in general. You can learn a lot from someone else's perspective. And so with that, things to take away: don't cry over spilled milk. After something happens, let it go, move on to the next event, and focus all your energy on that race. And just try to do better that time than you did the first time. And that's all I can think of. So I'll talk to you guys later. And have an awesome week. Bye, you guys.